Hello, I'm Reverend Anna. I'm the Senior Minister of Unity of Austin, and I want to share some thoughts with you about dry bones. This is a reading from the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel was a Hebrew prophet who was alive in the land of Judah during the time of the Babylonian captivity. So this is from Ezekiel 37, verses 1 through 5, and verse 14. Ezekiel was a prophet, and God showed Ezekiel a very powerful vision. Here we go. Ezekiel is speaking. The hand of the Lord came upon me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me down in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me all around them. There were very many lying in the valley, and they were very dry. He said to me, Mortal, can these bones live? I answered, O Lord God, you know. Then he said to me, Prophesy to these bones and say to them, O dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord God to these bones, I will cause breath to enter you, and you shall live. Now, verse 14. I will put my spirit within you, and you shall live. I will place you on your own soil, and then you shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken and will act, says the Lord. Things weren't good in the land of Judah around 650 BCE. Invaded by the well-equipped Babylonian armies, many citizens were carried off to Babylon, while those remaining were left impoverished and devastated. In the midst of this calamity, the seeming end of anything good, God raised up the prophet Ezekiel. Prophets are not fortune tellers. Rather, they are God's messengers, summoned to bring the truth to the people. Prophets call things out. They say how it is, what's going on, and then they point out the options. One of the options, and this is one that the true prophet always advocates, is to trust the life-giving guidance of God. This is what was happening when God gave the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel a strange vision. God took him out to a valley filled with dry bones, very dry bones, as the scripture points out. The bones were so dry, in fact, that Ezekiel had to have concluded that it had been an extremely long time since they had supported any living thing. Can't you just hear him crunching around in that valley of the very dry bones, wondering what in the world God was up to bringing him here? Then God asked him a peculiar question, making it plain that Ezekiel was a mere mortal and probably did not know the answer. God asked Ezekiel if those bones could live. Ezekiel wisely answered that he really didn't know, but that he was confident that God did. Have you been to the valley of the very dry bones? That place where you've given up the hope of ever finding a solution, a healing, a forward-moving, expansive fulfillment? The place where, like Ezekiel, mourning his ravaged country, you really don't know if there can be any life to be found, if there can be anything good again. We've all been there, most of us more than once. And so we know there's a solution. When Ezekiel admitted that he couldn't do anything about those very dry bones, but that God could, things happened. God told him to tell the truth to those bones, the truth that God had the power and the will to breathe life into them, to cover them with flesh and raise them up. And with that encouragement, the bones sprang to life. God will bring to life all the very dry bones that are still in your world. Your job is to prophesy to those bones. Be like Ezekiel. Tell them the truth, that God's Spirit is within them, that God can be trusted, that God will act and breathe them and you into the fullness of life. God bless you in the love and the light of the risen Christ.